What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got 5 NBA player props that I'm going to quickly go over. Today is Friday, October 24th. And if you do enjoy my analysis on these plays, make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a comment on how I can improve these videos or my research strategy. But I don't got much time, so let's quickly get into the picks. Okay, pick number 1 is in the Bucks-Raptors game. We are going with my guy Ryan Rollins over 9.5 points on BetMGM for -130 odds. Now, some of you might not even know who this guy is, but he's the backup point guard to Kevin Porter Jr. on the Bucks. And Kevin Porter Jr. got injured last game, and Ryan Rollins took most of his minutes instead of Cole Anthony. And RotoWire has him projected to play 28 minutes tonight. So if we look at games where he played 25 to, let's go down a little bit, 31 minutes, he's gotten 10 points in 6 out of 9 games, averaging 11.1. And last season without Dame, who is obviously not on the Bucks anymore, he scored 12 points in 22 minutes versus the Raptors. And then with Dame, he scored 10 points in 18 minutes, but that was also the Bucks blew out the Raptors by 24 points. Now, another thing I think is pretty funny is Ryan Rollins, who's a point guard, scores more points in the paint than Miles Turner did last season, or at least a higher percentage of their points. And that is where the Raptors have struggled in the past. You can see they're one of the bottom teams at defending their restricted zone. I guess if we want to be very stingy about this, with Giannis, when he does get 27 minutes at least, because he is projected to play at least 28, he's gone over every single game with Giannis. He doesn't have a bad matchup either. So I'm just expecting Ryan Rollins to have a bigger role with Kevin Porter Jr. out of the lineup. He took 9 shots last game and only made 2 of them. Got to the line twice and made all his free throws. So if he even shoots 30% throughout the game, he beats this 9.5 line in their last game as well. So he took 9 shots last game. If he's taken at least 6 to 10 and he gets his minutes, he also surpasses this line at a high rate. So yeah, that's my first play, Ryan Rollins over 9.5 points. And I'm sorry if that wasn't too in detail. I don't really have much time to get this video out, so I'm going to try and fly through these next 4 props as well. Okay, so prop number 2 is in the Heat-Grizzlies game, and I'm going with Davion Mitchell over 10.5 points. This line really just does not make sense to me at all. I should have ran his props for the first game of the year because this guy was my wagon during the play-in. I swept my play-in props last season. Anyways, Tyler Hero is still out, and Davion Mitchell took 15 shots last game. He played 35 minutes and again is projected to play 34 minutes. He also has a pretty good matchup as well, but what I'm looking at is his usage percentage. He had about a 17% usage percentage in their first game of the season. So if we go to last season when he had a usage percentage of, let's say, 13 to 20% with Miami, and then when he does get his minutes of 30 plus, he has smashed this line in 16 out of 19 games. I actually woke up early and posted this on my winnable, and a lot of people are on his assists again. But I noticed he had 12 assists on 14 potential assists, which is an insane, unsustainable conversion rate. And the Grizzlies do play at one of the fastest paces in the league, which will probably benefit his assists more than his points. But last season versus Memphis, he shot 3 for 5 from deep because not only did the Grizzlies allow the 4th most above the break threes, where Davion scored almost 40% of his points, but they also allowed the 6th most points in transition, where Davion scores another 30% almost of his points. So yeah, my second prop is Davion Mitchell over 10.5 points. My third prop is in the Spurs-Pelicans game, Wemby versus Zion, and I'm going with Zion Williamson under 6.5 assists. I got this at -145. I was looking at this late last night when the odds were a lot better, but it has been bumped down to 5.5 on a lot of books. If you can alt line it up to 6.5 and then take a dejuicer, I would do that, but 5.5 isn't bad at all as well, as you can see. What I'm looking at here is Zion versus Wemby. First time Zion played Wemby, he had 10 potential assists, which is a decent amount. But for him to get 7 assists, he had to convert on 70% of those potential assists. In his second time playing Wemby, he only had 7 potential assists. And then in their first game this season, he only had 7 potential assists as well. So I don't really see, if Zion is only seeing 11, 10 potential assists, why this line is at 6.5. Even 5.5, the hit rate is insane, so I would take it there as well. I do understand that Zion is going to be driving against a 7-7 demigod, so he's going to have to kick out to his shooters. But if he's only getting 11 potential assists, even if he's seeing more, 14, 15 potential assists. His hit rate is still bad. Cooper Flagg had an assist line of 4.5, and he only had 1 potential assist in the Mavs' first game of the year versus the Spurs. They clearly are playing much better defense than they did last year. So I think Zion's going to struggle to get 7 assists versus them tonight. So my third prop of the day is Zion Williamson under 6.5 assists. My fourth prop is in the Mavs-Wizards game, and we're going with probably a community play by now. Anthony Davis over 37.5 PR. This line opened at 36.5. I didn't get it at that. I'm still taking it at 37.5 because Anthony Davis dominates the Wizards. And he just got dominated by Victor Wembanyama in their first game of the season. So I really do expect him to bounce back here. He still took 22 shots in a blowout loss and has taken no less than 17 shots versus the Wizards last season. RotoWire also has Anthony Davis projected to play 34 minutes tonight. And his usage percentage was 32% in their blowout loss in game 1. This definitely is not a hit rate play because Anthony Davis has not really beat this line since joining the Mavericks. And Giannis and Miles Turner both rebounded the ball really well in the Bucks' first game versus the Wizards. So if Anthony Davis does get 18 rebounds and makes it to where he only has to score 20 points, then that's perfectly fine with me because then we still cash. But yeah, there's not much else I have to say. My fourth play is Anthony Davis over 37.5 PR. Now, my fifth and final play is a prop we ran already, and that is Mr. John Collins over 12.5 points. You cannot get this anywhere anymore, but 13.5 is still fine. He finished at 14 in their first game of the season, so I would still take 13.5 at these odds. It was plus money earlier. But yeah, the Suns' defense is terrible. There's a high total in this game of like 236 points, and John Collins took 12 shots in their first game of the season. And I think that's because the Clippers don't really have to utilize Zubac as much as they did last year. Zubac is only projected to play 28 minutes, while John Collins is also projected to play 28 minutes. And John Collins closed the game out in the Clippers' first game of the season. And one prop I did like is Zubac under his 10.5 rebounds, because in games where he doesn't see the minutes, he really struggles to grab those rebounds. And with John Collins on the team, I could see him struggling to get 11 rebounds versus this Suns team. But the Suns don't have DeAndre Ayton anymore. They have Mark Williams, so I don't really know how that would play out this season. That's why I'm sticking with the play that already cashed us out one time this year, and that's John Collins over 12.5 points. I went over this in my last video, but his usage percentage is what really stands out to me. He had a usage percentage of about 22%, and yes, they did get blown out, but that doesn't really turn me away from taking this prop again. He's projected 28 minutes, and last season when he played 26 to 30 minutes, he scored 14 points in every single game. He did it again this year, and he arguably has the best scoring matchup out of the whole team if we're looking at these. Props Madness has similar players that play like him, destroying this prop last season versus the Suns. The Suns also don't have Kevin Durant anymore, who I think is a pretty good defender. John Collins' 3-point prop is also heavily favored for him to make 1. And last season, if we just look at games where he made 1 3-pointer, he surpassed this line every single time. So yeah, I can't not run this prop again after he cashed us out already this season. So that is my fifth and final prop, John Collins over 12.5 points. I'd still take it at 13.5 like I said. But yeah, guys, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Again, I'm sorry if today's video I didn't go super in depth into all these props. I don't have much time, so I gotta get out of here. I gotta end the video. But hopefully you guys are enjoying these props video and I am giving you some value. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.